Hello people, this is Let's7 here, and this time we are doing some Wi-Fi battling on the 5th generation after long last, after 2 weeks, no, 3 weeks I believe. So anyway, I think that it has been quite a while, and I have my excuses why I haven't been doing Wi-Fi battles. The thing about Bob is that I really sometimes might have trouble getting a good match, but I have a couple of them start, so I really can't use that excuse right here and now. But the thing about Bobby is that I really have been busy with my school, and I also have been had other things going on, so I guess that's my excuse. I have other things going on, and the Pokemon is not too high on the priority bracket. I mean, it can have a +1 if it's a good match or something like that. But you have to understand that school has usually the fake out priority or protect priority +3. So anyway, the point here is that I kind of want to do Pokemon battles, but sometimes I just don't have the time. So anyway, looking at the opponent's team, the biggest threats happen to be Uxie, Sceptile, and Gallade. Uxie because it can be a problematic special wall if I lose my hard hitters, and in this case more in the terms of Ninjask and my Entei too early. Sceptile can be troublesome if I let it set up the Unburden at the late of the game, because it can deal with pretty much all of my pokes after that, except for maybe Antilleon, because my Antilleon is a massive physical wall, and it can handle it fairly well, alongside with my Qwilfish. So anyway, and then the Gallade can be a troublesome Pokemon if it has Shadow Sneak, because it can out-prioritize my Ninjask and all, and yeah, I mean, looking at the opponent's team as a whole, it's not too threatening. Also, I must mention that my opponent is ReboundAimer, and I recommend to check his channel out after the battle, but that's the battle indeed. So, without further rambling, let's jump right into it! So, here I'm challenged by Ashley, and I'm just gonna set up my Alessandro Volta, as my opponent is gonna lead off with Uxie! Uxie is not too big a problem, but I cannot really do too much to it with my Alessandro, so I'm just gonna Volt Switch out! So I'm just gonna Volt Switch onto my Qwilfish, expecting my opponent to go with the Stealth Rocks, and they'll put the Uxie to carry Psychic, and I'm just gonna intimidate my opposing Uxie, and as it goes, let us the Stealth Rocks around! So I'm expecting it to go with the Psychic! So it would take out my Qwilfish, and then I could just simply take out the Uxie with me. But that's not the case, and I get to set up my Destimon for nothing. As the Dory shall come in, I shall Thunder Wave it! And I'm surprisingly faster. Yes, I am running a speedy Qwilfish for some odd reason, for Destimon no less. As the opponent's gonna set up a Tailwind! Predicting my opponent to switch out, I'm just gonna go with the Thunder Wave once again! And that does pay off. And speaking of Tailwind, I kind of find it odd move to use in singles. It's not too effective in a way, and I just prefer it on doubles and triples. There, it can be a very great asset, but on the singles, there are Lumineon, there are better Tailwinders, like for example Aerodactyl or maybe Emolga. But yeah, the thing is that I'm just gonna bring my Alessandro, the predicting a Thunderbolt that didn't happen to my opponent, just kinda gets calm right up, and I'm just gonna watch it out into my Johannes. Johan Sebastian will come in, and the opponent will go with a Fire Blast, and it will miss! The miss, is not too crucial, because the fact is that each of is great, even though it's on +1. Anyway, I'm just gonna set up my Haze! As the opponent will set up another Combine. So here's the thing, I'm just thinking, okay, my opponent, if they have Thunderbolt, they are gonna use it right here, right now. So I'm just gonna switch out, bring in my Alessandro Volta, and to make a kind of a risky play and see if they have Thunderbolt. And they do! I get my Lightning Rod boost, and that is just absolutely brilliant! I get the Volt Switch out with +1, and now, this time, to bring in the big threat indeed. The one, the only, the Entei! So here it is time. Bring the Entei, exert my pressure, as the opponent will get paralyzed, unfortunately for them. Now, it's time for the Destroy the Fable 3 with the almighty, the one, the only, Blitz! But Uxie will be the target, and it will take a huge amount of damage and be burned by the Flare Blitz. The burn didn't really matter, but it's kind of funny how often a Flare Blitz burns anyway. But yeah, the burn didn't really matter, because the fact remains to be that What else would he switch in? I mean, I'm pretty sure that even a defensive Lumineon would be two-shotted by a choice by the Flamelets. So here the Lumineon comes in and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not gonna deal with this thing right here and now. So I'm just gonna bring in my Lilligant to deal with it right here and now. However, my opponent is gonna make a risky double switch and bring in Sceptile, predicting me very well and bringing Sceptile to go with that probably Leaf Blade, Acrobatics or whatever it wants. And I'm just gonna bring my Joanne to intimidate my opponent and I'm just gonna take that Flying Gem Acrobatics! And thankfully I take it really well. It wasn't a crit or anything, so I can take this Leaf Blade quite well because the Acrobatics has more power than the Leaf Blade with the Flying Gem. And I get to thunder away my opposing Sceptile! And now it's no longer a threat to me. So this is a great opportunity for me. So they are just gonna switch out and bring in Dory. As I was going to go with the Destiny mod, and either they predicted that or they just wanted to salvage their Sceptile for later on. I don't really know what they were thinking, but yeah. I don't really know. Perhaps they just didn't want me to set up Spectre or anything, I don't know. But anyway, they're just gonna bring in Dory. Go with Ice Beam as I bring in my Lilligant! So here's the thing, Green Brick Worm is gonna take a fair bit amount of damage from the Ice Beam, but I get to retaliate with Giga Drain and drain the Dory's life. And recover a fair bit of HP. So I will survive from another Ice Beam. However, Dory will get paralyzed and that is a great thing for me. And now it's time for me to go with a Hidden Power! However, I wanted to go with a Hidden Power because I just didn't really want to take too much, take too risky a play because I don't think that the Giga Drain would have KO'd from that range, and the opponent now is gonna switch into Accelgor! And now it's time for me to go with the Giga Drain! However, my opponent predicted me very well, and now the Accelgor will be taking the Giga Drain fairly well, and now it's my time to bring in Joanne as my pretty much a dead fodder at this point, taking the Stealth Rocks and intimidate the Accelgor, and let's see what it's gonna go with. It's gonna go with Hidden Power! I'm predicting might be Fire, Ice, or something along those lines. Not exactly sure, but the thing is that the crit didn't matter even though it was not very effective, because here's the thing. I can bring my Nitrous Oxide, I can just take this Accelrod out and go with the Flying Gem Acrobatics. So it's time to go with the Aerial Ace! And now it's time to take down the Dory with a critical hit, no less, but it didn't really matter. I make the argument that it did not matter. So anyway, I get my lovely speed boost, and now the Fable 3 will be coming in, and it's time to set up a sub. Yes, indeed. As the Fable 3 will be hitting this Fire Blast over here, and just taking out my sub, how unfortunate. So, and Nitrous Oxide will be taking another speed boost, and here I'm thinking, okay, perhaps should I set up another sub or Baton Pass, but I make a foolish mistake and make a regular switch, not Baton Passing, and the Fable 3 will be going with the Focus Blast. It hits us, it's paralyzed, and now I was thinking, oh my, Alessandro, but he lives with 1 HP, retaliate with Thunderbolt, and deals a fair bit amount of damage. As the Fable 3 will be cancellating this Focus Blast to take my Alessandro out! And that will be the story of Alessandro Volta. A great mayor he was. But anyway, Antillean will be coming in. I want to rapid spin away his pebbles because I want to still use my Ninjask. As the opponent will be just keeping it in this Focus Blast. I don't know what's going on. I mean, 3 Focus Blast hits in a row while paralyzed. So here I'm just gonna set up my Stealth Rocks on the field, hoping that my opponent would either miss or get paralyzed. But no! Fire Blasted, and that will be taking down Antillean entirely. That's the end of Antillean. Now it's time for me to bring Nitrous Oxide! And time to finish the job with Aerial Ace! And now, Fable 3 will be Big Villain. And now, I'm thinking if they are gonna bring in the Gallade in, it might have Shadow Sneak or they just don't have anything else to switch in. But I don't really want to risk that, so I'm just gonna make a double onto my Lilligant and then see if they have Shadow Sneak or not. But they have Ice Punch! And Ice Punch will be finishing off with my Lilligant right over here. So that's quite unfortunate. So here's the thing is, that Gallade will be losing some HP, and I'm just gonna bring in Nitrous Oxide, hoping, expecting then Aerial Ace not KO. That's why I go with the U-turn, and Aerial Ace would have KO from that range, but I didn't really want to risk it to be defensive and lose my winning condition at this point. So here I'm just gonna bring in the final Pokemon of my, the Entei. It will take the fire Ice Punch, live with 128 HP, and return with extreme speed, and take out the Gallade out with ease. In comes Sceptile. Sceptile shall come in, and it shall take a very bit of stealth rocks, so I shall go with extreme speed. And unfortunately, I resulted in a critical hit, but it didn't really matter, because if this Sceptile is not running any form of priority, I had this game in the back because I could have promoted my Ninjask, taken it out with Aerial Ace, and then had one speed boost to take this Accelgor out with my another Aerial Ace. So I had the game in the back, and I'm just gonna finish the game with extreme speed and take down the Accelgor with a greater speed than it does have. And that, my ladies and gentlemen, will be the game! So, I thank you guys for watching, I thank you guys for enduring my narration, and I also would like you to check out my previous battling as well. I believe that I might put the one against Bidoof or Zizay. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm just gonna put, because I'm not really sure if I have the one battle against Zizay on my computer. That's the problem here. I'm not exactly sure if I have it on my computer or not. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for enduring my narration. And like always, leave a like, leave a comment, and like always, have a fine day. And also, well, I guess I could ramble a bit more, but yeah, there's still time left, but I don't really find anything else to ramble about. But yeah, perhaps you just click that previous battle right over there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and have a fine day once again.